Hey Internet, it's me. Tonight's movie was Stung, and I don't know why, but this gave me big, drive-in movie vibes. It reminded me a lot of, the kind of, horror monster movies that you would go to the drive-in to see, I mean, way back when, before I was even old enough to go to drive-ins and see movies. But, stuff like The Blob, or I Was a Teenage Werewolf, or those kinds of things. It had the big, oversized monsters that kind of came out of nowhere, and it got into the action and the tension really quick. And of course, the main protagonists are this couple. Well, they're not a couple, but they're a boy and a girl, and then through the course of the movie, they develop into a couple. It really had classic horror monster movie vibes. And honestly, I really dug it. It was this one's about giant wasps, and they sting things and inject them with, I don't know, something, and then that thing turns into a wasp, or a wasp hatches out of it. So the bigger the creature, the bigger the wasp that comes out of it. And it was a lot of fun. The effects on the killer wasps and just the effects in general were really good. I think the acting on everybody's part was great. I mean, the story, it's original enough. Yeah, I haven't seen any other movies with giant killer wasps that turn other creatures into even bigger killer wasps. So, man, it's really weird saying the word wasps. I don't know. The tangent. It's a weird word to say. You have to be like, pss, 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 pss. I feel like I'm calling a cat every time I say wasps. But yeah, it was a unique enough story. The acting was great. The effects were great. It didn't feel too long, but it wasn't too short. There was a lot of good humor in there, and just some good quips and interactions with some other characters. So the writing was really well done. Overall, it was a very fun, enjoyable movie. I think that's a big thing for me. It was just a lot of fun. It's not one you think too hard about. They don't go too huge into the backstory. Where the monster wasp things come from is basically just, hey, we had some, pesticide, fertilizer, whatever, and it mutated these bugs. And that's really all the backstory you get, and that's fine. That's all you really need. It doesn't matter where they came from. They're here now. The people need to survive. That's all that you care about. So, yeah, it was very well done. It was set up good. It was paced well. It was well acted, well written. It's just a very fun, enjoyable movie. I'm trying to think if there's any moments that stood out that I didn't like, any major detractors, and honestly, not really. No, I think it was just really fun. I mean, it kind of ends on a cliffhanger, but that's just the monster movie thing to do. There's always that last scene before you fade to black where the creature's buried under rubble and all of a sudden you see a hand pop up. Or, going really old school movies, there's just the text that says, creature will be back, or whatever the case is. That's how horror movies do. You always end on a cliffhanger. Whether or not it's deserved, whether or not those movies get a sequel is another story, but you always end on a cliffhanger. So, I mean, they did that here, but it wasn't unwelcome. It's what you expect with those kinds of movies. Honestly, I think of all the ones I've watched so far this year, there might be some other ones I thought were better movies. Fear Farm, I think is a better movie overall. I think it was better. But I think this one was just more fun. So if you just want one to put on it's just really going to be enjoyable. There's a lot of ridiculousness. When the bee stings the little dog and then it turns into this wasp thing. Well, ridiculousness isn't the right word because it's not over the top, campy or anything, but it's just fun. That's really all. You're not going to think too hard. It's not going to be this major investment. It's just, you put it on if you want to have a good time watching a horror movie, and it'll get the job done. So yeah, that's my opinion on this one. I haven't been rating the movies, but if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it an 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It was really a good one. I definitely recommend it. If you're tempted to watch a movie at all, go watch Stung. I don't know what services it would be available on, but the one of your choice, I'll probably have it. I mean, it's a 7-year-old horror movie with no real big name actors on it, so can't imagine anyone's clamoring over exclusivity with this one. So I'm sure you can find it if you want to, and yeah, give it a go. And that's all I have to say on this one. I don't want to ramble too much, so I'll just stop and I'll see you next time.